Good morning, welcome to GrainTV. It's September 24th, 2012. I'm Logan Burgess. To my right is Brock Shimano. Brock, let's hop in a fire tip here. Take a look at these live quotes out of Chicago. Right now we're looking at corn, soybeans, and wheat all trading lower across the board right now. We see a dollar index picking up about 1/3 of a point there. Another strong move from the dollar index higher here on the heels of Friday's buying. That should be pressuring grains. On Friday's show, we talked about this frost freeze threat for northern areas of the U.S. here. It does look like areas of North Dakota and Minnesota did get a harder than expected frost in some areas. The market's clearly not buying on this though. It looks like this crop is well enough mature that frost didn't take a lot of yield out of it. I think the bottom line right now people are focused on is harvest pressure pushing this thing lower.
I think harvest pressure is weighing on the market right now. This afternoon's crop progress report, we're looking for harvest on corn to be about 38 to 40% complete. Soybeans, we're looking about 18 to 20% complete. But I think looking out further is the weather is going to be a concern. We're looking at about a 6 to 10 day outlook right now of pretty good temperatures across much of the Midwest. Right. Precipitation is also looking pretty dry. Thing I'd like to note here is down the southern part of the United States, we're getting some seasonal monsoonal rains down there in Oklahoma, Kansas, Texas, some of those areas, and they're getting going on their planting of hard red winter wheat. They're about 11% complete on that as of last Monday. So that's good to see that down there. As far as temperatures are concerned, I don't think we really have anything to worry about on the temperature side of things. Southern part of the United States is going to be a little bit cooler, but the growing areas where we're getting the harvest done right now looks like it's going to be about normal for much of the Midwest. Northern part of the Midwest looks like it's going to be a little bit warmer on the 6 to 10 day outlook.
Certainly, Brock. We kind of turn our attention here to South America right now. I think especially the more deferred months are going to start watching precipitation out of South America. And as you can see here, today into tomorrow, and then Tuesday into Wednesday as well, it looks like they're going to be getting good rains in that southern area of Brazil, Paraguay, northern Argentina, even into Uruguay here. That southern area of Brazil, though, Mato Grosso is going to be watched very closely there. The world's really expecting Brazil to produce a bumper crop here, around 82 million metric tons there. So production is going to be watched very closely. We saw the effects of drought conditions out of Brazil push our domestic bean market higher here over last winter. I think anything that's really not ideal growing conditions is going to be watched very closely. If it looks like Brazil isn't going to be able to make up this shortfall in bean stocks that you'd mentioned earlier, I think it could really put a bid once again in the Chicago futures market here.
We saw that all last winter. We saw speculators come in the market fast and furious when their weather was deteriorating.
Right.
And I think that's something we're definitely going to have to pay attention to pretty closely this winter. Friday we get the quarterly grain stocks. It's probably going to show that we have pretty tight stocks right now heading into next year. So I just anticipate and see speculators coming in this market if anything is going wrong in South America.
Yeah, we've been kind of keeping an eye on the speculative crowds positions, specifically the managed money positions here. And as you can see on Friday's report we got here, managed money is now less than 300,000 contracts net long in corn. But the thing to really take away from here is that we saw a lot of selling pressure last week, and they still have a lot of longs on the table here. So keep an eye for corn, and then if we take a look here at soybeans as well, about 200,000 contracts net long. Now this report does end on last Tuesday's action, so all the selling pressure that this market came under on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday won't be reflected in this report. We'll have to wait until this Friday to actually see that, but it certainly does look like this net long position is going to back off a little bit. Over the weekend we had a story out from Bloomberg News saying that crop prices had peaked out, that the drought conditions had been factored into this market, and when I read stories like that, I certainly think those are going to be watched closely by the managed money here. They're just a speculative position. Anything that's really going to scare them out. We saw the effects of that on Monday with the limit down move in soybeans. So that's something to keep an eye on here. As you said, though, we're going to have to wait till that Friday report, the quarterly grain stocks, specifically for soybeans. Quarterly grain stocks in general remain very tight. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But there's a lot of moving parts to this grain market right now moving forward. We'll keep you posted on those on GrainTV. We'll also be tweeting all day as these markets trade live. At GrainTV is where you can find us on Twitter. I think that wraps up our show here for Monday morning. Brock, thanks a lot for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.